Okay, so the fables, each fable of the fables of the Seven Scrolls has a nature. It is the nature of the story to check one or more adversaries. This is the nature of the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, if Ryan didn't complete this hand, this story would not be here on the earth. It wouldn't be among us. But he completed it, and so it is here. Okay? That is its nature. This adversary is going to be absolutely checked by it. This is an absolute check. Now, of course, this has stages of actualization, right? I mean, one of the stages is that this adversary is put in check and then later is checked in another stage. You know, there are the stages of a check, okay? All right, so we love Disneyland and all the stories it has. I mean, it really, these really are good, rejoiceful things. But, you know, this is for the duration of a course, a very, very long course. See here, I have 1 through 7 lifetimes, and in this lifetime I had different stages, you know, with different parents, all within the 7th lifetime. Okay? I used the same illustration. This was an illustration of me coming into Prime and then starting a course that is a very long course. Because there are going to be, because this is an Archon, we knew this was going to be a very, very long course with all the fluxes in time to consider. Okay? I mean, a lifetime is about 90 years old or so, 90 years. And, but with all the fluxes in time, it's actually much longer than 90 years. See, I grew up to a certain age, which with each set of parents I had. Now, you know, I mentioned that Jenna, Melanie, Kelly are my friends. I went to school with them. But before this stage, they were my mommies in previous stages. And I also had a few others. I'm aware of Lindsay and a few others. Okay, then there are a few of them. Now, in between these sets of parents, we had these funny little episodes with pop-in parents, pop-in aunts and uncles. I mean, these other turkeys would just pop into our lives and kind of pretend that there are temporary moms and dads, temporary aunts and uncles. Those pop-in moms and dads, aunts and uncles, are not these people. These people are who I call the Council of Heavenly Parents. Okay? Randy and Kristen belong to the Cut Our Losses crew. It could be Lindsay. She was a part of the Let's Chalk It Up crew, and before that there was the Salvage crew, and etc. These all are the Council of Heavenly Parents. They wanted to be my parents to solve. Now, if a lock happened that was an absolute lock, it would remain that. The nature of the remainder of the course would have remained salvage. We were salvaging what we have left. But that absolute lock did not happen, and we had to move into another category because we weren't choosing to salvage it. We were choosing to not salvage it. And so the next natural stage with the next set of natural parents and aunts and uncles were different. And then in between these two stages, we had a bunch of turkeys arrive in our lives, pretending they were our moms and dads and aunts and uncles, okay? The story of Mary Poppins is about these. They're just these people who pop in our lives, and they're like little funny little rascals, just pretending they're family members when they may not be. Okay. Now, among these pop-in moms and dads, aunts and uncles, etc., that are not the authentic council of heavenly parents, who are people who chose to solve, okay? The pop-in pretenders are not really choosing to solve. They're just making a bunch of chaos in between the stages, making a mess, trying to sabotage and undermine, and also to thwart and to discourage. One or more of these pop-in funny people set up my Grandma Margaret Sandage Roberts, okay? Grandma Roberts did not do some of the things that she's not guilty of some of the things that I believed she was. There is more to this story, okay? But before Margaret became a part of my life in this stage, my maternal grandmother, Margaret Sandage Roberts, before she became a part of my life in this stage, she also completed a hand. She completed something. So this would go all the way around every population group. And she developed this hand and completed it knowing that she was already set up and framed for things. Okay, so we can consider how Margaret has already solved this. Of course, this solution has stages that we yet need to go through. Okay, but we can consider the scenario, what if I were to believe this, for the rest of my life? Margaret's solving hand already solved it. So if I were to continue to believe this and die of 90 years old or whatever, she yet solved it in the long run. See, these archons are full of very bad things that take a very, very long time to solve. So we're glad that Margaret developed a solving hand. Now, we're considering my cousin Lisa. See, she's one of the 7 dwarfs. And it could be she got to tangle with these pop-in moms and dads. And it also could be that she herself had a funny little stage. Oh, I'm Taffy's cousin, but in between our different parents, aunts, and uncles, I'm going to also play a pop-in mommy, okay? I'm going to pretend I'm Taffy's mom for a while, and grandma even, okay? This is kind of true, and I'm not going to deny it, because it's very evident that my family could have done a little better. They should never not let one family member go homeless, and they did. So there are evident things of what they can do better. We're yet very glad that Margaret chose a solving hand, and we're glad that Lisa chose a solving hand also. But see, there's some very unfortunate things that should have been solved before a certain point, and they weren't. So we naturally all get to consider how we could have done a little better. Now, the story of Mary Poppins is about this. This did happen. I mean, in between each set of parents, I had pop-in grandmas and grandpas, funny people who were just endeavoring to crack our lives, and drive people miserable. Okay, so we're going to continue to consider Lisa and the symbols of Mary Poppins, and also the symbols of the other characters that Julie Andrews plays. Okay, The Sound of Music is the Broadway musical called The Sound of Music is very pertinent. It's a very good story, and we have it among us for a reason. And these things have to do with my cousin Lisa. Lisa is bashful, okay? Ryan is happy. He's the first of them. See, he was my each of these 7 lifetimes. Once again, all of this happened in the 7th. In the previous one, there was a 6, and we had many stages in that one also with many different sets of parents. So we have 1 through 7. Each one has a special sibling. Brett, who is dopey, is my special sibling in this one. Before this, Lisa is bashful. She was my special sibling in the 6 lifetimes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? However, all of them were in in my family each time. Okay? So all the 7 dwarves were in my family here, all the 7 dwarves were in my family here, etc., etc. And also in each respective stage they had. Like this one has these stages. This one had these stages. This one had these stages, etc., etc. In each respective stage, all of the 7 dwarves and even the 7 and the 9, were in my family. However, there was one kind of special sibling. Okay? So Ryan's happy, Brett's dopey, Amanda is grumpy. See, there's happy, Ryan's happy, Amanda's grumpy, and then there's Lisa's bashful, and Brett is dopey. Okay, and then there's Anna, Rebecca, John, and Joseph, and they're here. Okay, that's Doc,